Did therapy really make a 13-minute video about writing hooks? You're damn right. No hook, no money, no eat. So this one goes out to my content creators. Let's start at the beginning. God created hooks and they were good. They came before all other parts of the video because of their vital importance. Before the body, before the lesson, before the call to action, before your beautifully unnecessary backstory about how you were thinking about this in the shower just a little bit ago. The hook came first. What's the hook? Think fishing. I know, right? It's the part that grabs them and won't let go. The part that catches attention, sinks in fast, and drags the viewer deeper into the video before their thumb can betray them and scroll off into digital stupidity. For you, the hook is the first words out of your mouth and into your video. More precisely, it's the first 1 to 2 to 4 seconds. That little slice of time decides whether the viewer stays, leaves, or goes back to watching some guy pressure wash a driveway for no damn reason. That's the level of competition you're up against. So your hook has to be potent. It has to be the juiciest clickbait you and your AI can come up with without being dishonest like those channels that promise nuclear secrets and deliver a slideshow with stock music and depression. No. We do not bait and switch. You are going to deliver on that promise. If your title and thumbnail make a bold claim, your video better show up like a grown man and back it up. That's what separates a powerful hook from a cheap one. A cheap hook lies. A good hook makes a promise and then keeps it. And that's where most creators screw things up. They think the hook is a place to introduce themselves. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nobody Asked, Nobody Cares Yet. You have not earned the right to be slow. You have not earned the right to be warm. You have not earned the right to casually jog into your video like you're taking your audience on a Sunday walk through the park full of weak sauce. The hook is not your greeting. The hook is your grip. It's the moment you earn the next 5 seconds. That's it. When your video begins, you're not trying to explain everything. You're not trying to prove your intelligence. You're not trying to sound like some polished blend of a TED Talk, LinkedIn post, and protein shake. You are trying to make them need the next sentence. That's what a good hook really does. It creates tension, and tension earns attention. You get it? A good hook opens a loop in the viewer's mind, and their brain wants closure. They hear the line, a gap forms, and now they need to know what you mean, where you're going, or how this affects them. The tension can come from pain, it can come from curiosity, fear, urgency, money, status, regret, contradiction, or the possibility that they've been doing something wrong the whole damn time. So when you write a hook, stop asking, how do I start this video? That is a weak question. Start asking, what can I say in the first few seconds that would make the right person feel stupid for scrolling away? Now you're thinking like a strategist. For example, if your video is about AI, do not open with, in this video, I want to talk about artificial intelligence. That sounds like a hostage video made by a substitute teacher. For God's sake, say something more like, most people are using AI like a toy, and that's exactly why they're still behind. Now we got movement. Now we got blood in the water. If your video is about business, don't say, today I want to share a few tips for entrepreneurs. That sounds like every beige content creator with one ring light and 2 opinions. Say your business probably isn't failing because of your offer. It's failing because of what you do before people ever see it. That creates tension. That creates questions. That creates stay time or retention. The hook is a promise. Your title made that promise in text. Your thumbnail made that promise visually. Now your mouth has to confirm it immediately. The first sentence has to feel like the thumbnail came to life and started talking. If your title says, why smart people stay broke, and your opening line is, hey everybody, hope you're having a great Tuesday, you already committed creative treason. You broke trust. Your hook and your title should feel married. Your hook and your thumbnail should feel like they were created by the same mind, for the same reason, aimed at the same pain point. That alignment matters because when a viewer clicks, they are subconsciously asking one question, am I in the right place? And the hook answers that question faster than anything else in the video. Yes, this is what you clicked for. Yes, this is going where you hoped. Yes, I'm not about to waste your time with fluff filler or a motivational monologue. Now, another mistake people are making is thinking that the hook has to be loud. It doesn't have to be sharp. You do not need to scream. You do not need to fake energy. You don't need to behave like your pre-workout just filed your taxes. You need precision. A hook can be quiet and still dangerous. You're not lazy. You're overloaded with low-value decisions. That's not loud. That's surgical. Precision beats noise every time. The best hooks usually do one of a few things. They expose a mistake, call out a painful truth, or promise a result, challenge a belief, or create a curiosity gap so powerful that the viewer feels pulled forward. Sometimes the hook is a warning. If you're building content without understanding this, you're wasting months. Sometimes it's a confession. I used to think the hook was the title. It's not. Sometimes it's a challenge. You do not need better editing. You need a better first sentence. And sometimes it's just blunt force trauma with a smile. Your videos are not boring because the topic sucks. They're boring because your opening line has all the charisma of soggy cereal. That's a hook too. Now, let's talk about what a hook is not. A hook is not your logo animation. Nobody clicked on your video hoping to watch your brand reveal like the second coming of Pixar. A hook is not, "What's up, guys?" A hook is not, "So today we're going to be talking about." A hook is not 11 seconds of context before you say anything useful. A hook is the shortest path to the value of the video. Clean, immediate, intentional. And here's why this matters so much. The hook doesn't just affect the viewer, it affects the rest of your script. Because the moment you choose the hook, you're choosing the promise. And once you choose the promise, the rest of the video now has a job. It must prove, explain, or deliver that promise. So if your hook is "this one mistake is destroying your retention," then the rest of the video better identify the mistake, show why it kills retention, and tell me what I could be doing instead. The hook gives the whole script direction. It tells you what belongs in the video and what doesn't. That is why creators who start with a weak hook usually end up with a weak video. Because if the opening promise is vague, the whole structure gets soft and soft content dies. So let me make this practical. A good hook needs to do 3 things very, very fast. It needs to grab attention, create tension, and point to value. Grab attention means it interrupts the scroll. Create tension means it opens a loop. Point to value means the viewer understands there is something in the video worth staying for. That's the formula. Not magic, not luck, not algorithmic witchcraft. Now, how do you actually write one? You start with the outcome, the problem, or the surprise. What does the viewer want? What are they afraid of? What do they believe that might be wrong? If you can answer one of those in a punchy sentence, you're close. If you can answer 2 at the same time, you're cooking with Crisco, which you should never do. For example, let's say your video is about hooks. You could say a hook is the first line of your video. That's true, but it's dry. Or you could say your video could be amazing, but if your first sentence is weak, almost no one will stick around long enough to find out. Same topic, far stronger. Now the viewer feels the consequence. They feel the stakes. And this is a huge principle in all good hooks. Stakes matter. People do not lean in because information exists. They lean in because consequences exist. If there's no cost to ignoring your video, most people will ignore your video. So part of your hook's job is to make the cost visible. What happens if they don't understand this? What are they losing right now? Time, money, views, growth, leads, confidence, momentum? Tie the lesson into consequences and the hook gets stronger immediately. Also, the hook should be built for the right viewer, not every viewer. That part matters. You are not trying to make everybody stay. You're trying to make the right people stay. This video is for content creators and online entrepreneurs, the exact people that need this information. That means specificity wins. A broad hook gets broad results, which usually means weak results. The secret to better videos is soft. Why your first 3 seconds are killing retention is sharper. One sounds like a generic advice, and the other sounds like a real problem with a real fix. Once the hook lands, do not ruin it by slowing down. This is another place people sabotage themselves. They say something strong, then immediately drift into rambling like they forgot they were being watched. Don't do that. Once you hook them, you move straight into proof, payoff, or explanation. You feed the tension you created. If your hook says your first sentence is probably costing you views, the next line should explain why and spit it out fast. You don't hook them and then disappear into your story about your morning coffee and how your cat is a spiritual muse. Weird. Nobody asked. Stay on target. Momentum matters. The hook is ignition, but the next thing you say is the engine itself. If the engine sputters, the viewer isn't staying for the ride. This is why some videos get clicks but still die. The title worked, the thumbnail worked, then the creator opened their mouth and all the tension leaked out the room like a tire on a back road. So understand this clearly. The hook is not decoration. It's not a cute little intro trick. It is the first proof of competence. It tells the viewer whether you understand attention, whether you respect their time, and whether this video is about to reward the decision to click. That's why I say the hook comes first, not just in the video, but in the creation process. Before you write the rest of your script, get the hook right. Before you worry about transitions, B-roll, fancy edits, music, captions, or all the other glitter people use to disguise weak fundamentals, get the hook right. Because a strong hook can carry a simple video, and a weak hook can kill a brilliant one. So next time you sit down to write content, do not begin with, "Hey guys, welcome back." That line has murdered more retention than bad audio and ugly thumbnails combined. Start with the most powerful, truthful promise in the room. Start with the sentence that makes the right viewer feel seen, challenged, exposed, or excited. Start with the line that makes scrolling feel expensive, because that is what the hook does. It makes leaving feel like a mistake. Once you've internalized that, your content changes. You stop making intros and start making entrances. You stop politely beginning your videos and start strategically opening loops. You stop hoping people stay and start giving them reasons why they can't leave. So, what are hooks and how do they work? A hook is the opening line or the opening moment of your video that grabs attention, creates tension, and points to value. And it works by triggering curiosity, stakes, emotion, or self-interest so powerfully that the viewer needs to hear what comes next. That's it. That's the game. If your hook is weak, your video's already fighting uphill in flip-flops. So write sharper, start stronger, and blow them away with value. Hey, I'm Therapy. You're a legend, and if you got value out of this, show me some love and hit that subscribe. My promise to you is to continue making content that helps you keep stacking odds in your favor for success. I'll see you on the next one.